Yeah. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Hello to those of you who are watching. We are just waiting until 3 o'clock, so a couple more minutes, just waiting for everybody to join us. So if you are watching online and would like to say hello, then there is a chat section. You can leave a comment and hopefully I'll be able to see your comments. So if you could maybe post on the stream who you are and maybe where you're watching from or what school you go to, that would be great. We'd love to hear from you and love to say hello to you. So please do add your name and your school into the comments. We're going to start in about a minute's time. We're just going to wait for everyone to join us, and we're going to try and start promptly at 3 o'clock. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Matt and I work for Southampton City Mission. We are an independent Christian charity in Southampton, the United Kingdom. We run the Basics Banks and we have done that for about 26 years. We provide emergency food provision to people across the region who otherwise couldn't get food. As I'm sure you can imagine, that is of high demand at the moment during the current crisis. And we have seen the demand for our Basics Banks increase quite a lot. Fortunately, the public and members of the church across the city have been asking us if they can volunteer, asking how they can support financially, asking how they can support with food. And so we are starting to stabilise now as we are working with Love Southampton and the council and other organisations across the city to get this need met. I normally work on the school side of City Mission. I've been seconded onto the Basics Bank for the last couple of weeks, helping in the Basics Bank with the tech support. Ellie, our other schools worker, she's been helping in the van. She's been helping in the venues as well. But now we are starting our brand new schools channel. It is really exciting to be doing this, having told people for a number of years in schools that we are going to start a YouTube channel. We finally are doing it now. And there will be lots of content coming up in the weeks to come next academic term, where we were due to be doing a Question of Faith Day in schools. We will be producing an online pack for that so that you can access the materials that we would do, the quizzes and the games and the crafts and the stories and so on. But we're starting our channel off with this first live online assembly. In our introductory video last Friday, we asked people to suggest a name for us, and we had a couple of people say maybe different things. One was connective worship instead of collective worship. One was thoughts at 3. We've only had 2 suggestions, so do please keep those suggestions coming in. An assembly normally happens as part of every school day. So if you have children who go to school, they would normally go to an assembly or a collective worship session. Normally lasts about 15 to 20 minutes. And they would maybe sing a song, there would be a thought for the day, maybe a story, maybe they'd pray together, the school might give out notices and so on. Sometimes these happen at the beginning of the day, sometimes they happen at the end of the day. But we've decided to do our online assemblies at the end of the day, as there's lots and lots of other stuff going on throughout the day. So we have started going along with the Joe Wicks PE sessions in the morning, and I'm really enjoying that. Quotes, enjoying that. My thighs are killing me right now. But we thought it would be great as we get a physical workout in the morning, if we could have a spiritual workout in the afternoon, just to end the day, to reflect on all that's happened and to think about together how our days has been. Thank you for those people who are already commenting. We've got Duncan House from the UK. He's on the Basics Bank side of City Mission. He says he likes my pot plant. We've got Alan from Tannersbrook Primary School, and Daniel too from Tannersbrook. Hello to you guys. We've got some people watching in Fareham. I'm not sure which school you go to. Maybe you're homeschooled. I'm not sure. But it's really great to have you on board. If you are watching and you missed the start of the video, please do comment. Tell us what school you're from, and your name, and we can say hello to you. We'd also love you to tell us in the comments what you've been doing today, what you've been up to, what's your highlight of the day been, and we'll try and mention some of those at the end of the video. These assemblies, these online moments together, these reflections are going to follow a similar structure. We're going to start with a question. We're going to tell you a story. We're going to set you a challenge and maybe suggest a resource. And then we are going to end with a prayer. And our first question, the question for today, is who makes you feel welcome and how do they do that? So we're thinking today, actually we're thinking all this week about the Easter story. And yesterday, Christians across the world celebrated Palm Sunday when Jesus was welcomed into Jerusalem just under 2,000 years ago. And so the question is today, who makes you feel the most welcome and how do they do that? If you can chat to the person that you're watching with, or maybe add a comment in the comment stream, we can feed back some of those a little bit later on. I was thinking about this earlier, and I always feel so welcomed by my son and my daughter. And if you've seen me in a school in Southampton, you know I mention my son and daughter quite often, Charlie and Maggie. And every time I come home from work, every time I come home from school, they're always there waiting for me. If they're sat at the dinner table having their dinner, they jump up and they run to the door and they hug me and they kiss me. They can't wait to start telling me about their days. They sometimes shout. Maggie likes to do a little dance sometimes. She does what she calls a little butt dance, which is her kind of like excited dance. And they just make me feel so welcome. Whenever I come in from a busy day, they make me feel welcome. We've got people commenting on the stream already. So Lily says her friends make her feel welcome by supporting her with all that she does and always being there for her. We've got Ellie, who says that she felt welcome when she started her new job, that everyone greeted her with a smile and bought her new pens for her office. We've got Keanu from Fairard Juniors. Hi, Keanu. Please let us know in the comments who makes you feel most welcome and how they do that. Maybe we'll come back to those in a little while. But now that we've asked you the question, we're going to tell you the story of how Jesus was welcomed into Jerusalem on that first Easter week 2,000 or so years ago. This story is going to be from the Lion Storyteller Bible, written by Bob Hartman. It's called The Great Parade, and some of you may have already seen this. We did a recording of this for our Palm Sunday church service yesterday, but you're now going to get the live version. So we've got some actors waiting outside for us who we're going to go and join, and they're going to come back in and we're going to think a little bit more about this story. But here we go. This is a new experience for me, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully the signal won't disconnect. We tested this earlier and it stayed stable, but please do rejoin if anything goes wrong. So this story is called The Great Parade, and it's about Jesus entering Jerusalem. Let's go to Jerusalem, said Jesus to his friends.
Let's go to Jerusalem.
I have something important to do there.
I have something important to do there.
And so they went. When they could just see the city from a nearby hill, Jesus said, let's have a parade.
Let's have a parade.
Jesus' friends were surprised. A parade, they wondered?
A parade?
Why a parade?
Why a parade?
But no one said anything because Jesus was already busy giving instructions. I want you to borrow a donkey, he said.
I want you to borrow a donkey.
Tell the owner I need it.
Tell the owner I need it.
He'll understand.
He'll understand. Okay. Hello. Can I borrow a little donkey? Yeah. Yeah, you'll understand. When your kids, Mommy. Oh, yeah, and your kids. Yeah. Donkey's kids will come in.
When the friends returned with the donkey, Jesus hopped on its back, gently nudged its sides, and they started off down the hill. His friends followed close behind. Hooray for Jesus, they shouted.
Hooray for Jesus.
It's Jesus the King.
It's Jesus the King.
Down and down they rode towards the city gate, and the closer they got, the more people joined them. It's Jesus the teacher, someone called.
It's Jesus the teacher.
It's Jesus the healer, said someone else.
It's Jesus the healer.
3 cheers for Jesus, said one and all.
3 cheers for Jesus.
Soon there were people everywhere, marching along with the parade and shouting from the roadside. Some took off their coats and laid them in front of the donkey. Others cut down palm branches and waved them in the air. There were hundreds, maybe thousands of people dancing and shouting their way through the city gates. Everyone was happy. Well, almost everyone. Some of the religious leaders didn't like Jesus. They were jealous because the ordinary people were so fond of him. And when they saw the parade, they frowned. Wait just a minute, they said. You can't have a parade here. Tell your friends to be quiet, Jesus. But Jesus just laughed. Tell them to be quiet, he said.
Tell them to be quiet.
That's impossible.
That's impossible.
Can't you see?
Can't you see?
There's so much joy here
There's so much joy here
that even if I could make the people quiet,
that even if I could make the people quiet,
the stones in the street would jump up and shout for joy.
the stones in the street would jump up and shout for joy. Hooray for Jesus.
Go on then.
Jump up, Maggie. Hooray for Jesus.
Well done. Give us a poot on the horn there, Maggie. Nice, great. We're going to go back inside and continue our assembly thinking about welcoming. So we've had a few more people commenting on the stream now, joining in with the story, which was fantastic. Thank you so much. Big love to Maggie and Charlie and my wife Lucy for helping me tell that story. Normally we have people from a school audience, if you like, or the people who go to the school, the children and the teachers that join us for the story. But obviously we can't do that in lockdown. Now, today, I wanted to also tell you a real life story. On our road, because people are in lockdown, there are lots of people who feel quite lonely, who feel quite isolated. And we've been thinking about ways in which they can be connected, can feel welcomed as part of the wider community. We can't welcome people into our homes right now, but we can still welcome people into our lives. And what we've done is we've set up a WhatsApp group for our street. So we've communicated with everyone on the street by putting a little flyer through their door to say who we are, what our mobile phone numbers are, and that we're setting up a group. And gradually people have texted us to join in with the group. And even just in the last couple of weeks, we have seen people helped through that group because they've been welcomed into a larger community. Someone needed to return a package who is an elderly resident on the road, but couldn't get her package that she had to return back to the shop because she's self-isolating, because she's vulnerable and at risk. And so she asked me to share with the group, and someone went and delivered the package back for her. Someone else has needed food shopping being done. And so people on the street have helped to get food shopping done for their neighbours. Some people have delivered a prescription for essential medicine for someone living on the street. And people have even shared medicine with one another, unopened boxes of Calpol for children that needed it when there wasn't any available in the shop. And so just by doing that simple thing of starting a WhatsApp group for our street, we've welcomed each other into our lives, even if we can't welcome each other into our homes at the moment. And so today's challenge for you is this. I would like you to think about who you might know that might be feeling lonely, who in this crisis at the moment is disconnected. You know, we live in a world that is more connected than ever before. And we have devices at our fingertips that can allow us to reach out and welcome people into our lives in a safe way. So think about who could be in your house or on your street or in your city, or maybe you have friends and family further afield in the country. Maybe you know people across the world who you know might be feeling lonely at this time. What do you think you could do to welcome them into a wider community? Today's resource is actually your own device, your phone or your tablet, your laptop, whatever you have. And obviously, if you're a child, get your parents' help and permission with this. But maybe you can write an email to someone. Maybe you can record yourself singing a song and send it to family halfway across the world. Maybe you can start a Zoom with neighbors that you used to speak to but don't anymore. Charlie has helped to start a Zoom meeting once a week with the other classmates that he has at school. And so once a week on a Monday afternoon, they all get together, and it's craziness for about 20 minutes while they all try and chat to each other. But it's lovely that they're able to connect with each other, and they really get so much out of seeing each other and speaking to one another during that time. So that's your challenge. Have a think about how you could welcome someone else who you know might be feeling lonely into your life at this time. If you have a story that you'd like to share about that, please do put it on our comments, and we will share some of those as the week continues. Now, to end our time together in schools, we always say a prayer. That's because we're Christians. You might not be, and that's fine. Our assemblies and our RE days are always accessible by people of any faith and none. And so you might want to pray. You might want to just think, and that's okay. I will say a prayer, and if you'd like to agree at the end, you can say Amen. Some people think that Amen means thank you, or I believe in God, or aren't even sure what Amen means. But all it simply means is I agree. And so if you'd like to agree with this prayer I'm going to pray in a moment, then you can say Amen just where you are. And I believe that God will hear your prayer where you are. You don't have to do anything specific. You don't have to close your eyes or put your hands together or kneel down or anything like that. Just take a moment to be still. Think about the words that I'm saying. And then at the end, if you'd like to agree, you can by saying Amen. Dear God, thank you for all the people in our lives who welcome us, like our mums and our dads, our brothers and our sisters, our grandmas and our grandpas, our uncles, our aunties, our teachers, our friends, everyone that we know who loves us and welcomes us. Thank you for the ways in which they show us how much they love us and invite us to be part of their lives. Help us to think about the people around us who might be feeling lonely at this time, and to come up with simple, creative ideas for how we could help them feel welcomed into our wider community. May we know that we are all part of one big family, and that you welcome everyone into your family, which you showed us through Jesus. Please keep us safe until we see each other again. And if you'd like to agree, you can say Amen. Amen. Now we're going to just finish off by picking a few comments out of the stream to read. And also I need to remind you that we'll be back again at 3:00 tomorrow afternoon. And Ellie is going to be doing tomorrow's online assembly, tomorrow's Thoughts at 3, or Connective Worship, whatever we end up calling it. And she is going to be speaking on the topic of remembering and thinking about the meal, the last meal that Jesus had with his friends. That's 3 p.m. BST, that's British Summer Time. Tomorrow, that's the Tuesday, the 7th of April. So please do tune in again then. I know I will be watching. Now, let's just have a look here at the comments. We've got Amy saying she has a friend who gives her a big hug and is excited to see her, and her puppy who always brings her a toy and wiggles and wags her tail and comes up to us to welcome. We've got someone else called Obi saying he felt welcomed when he first went to his church. We have got other people saying what a super cute donkey there was today, and what a really great Jesus we had. Someone saying the donkey is so adorable. Someone saying I wish my donkey had a hooter. Someone else, Lily, saying she feels lonely, but she knows her friends are helping her. And yeah, there's many, many more. So please do comment if you're watching this, not live, but you're watching this later on. Please do still comment and tell us who welcomes you and how they do that, and any ideas that you've got for how we can welcome one another into our lives. We look forward to seeing you same time tomorrow, 3:00, when Ellie will be talking to us about remembering. Take care, keep safe, and see you soon. God bless.